Ladies and gentlemen, there's a kind of power that doesn't need to speak, a presence so magnetic it wins hearts in complete silence. While others chase, explain, and beg to be seen, you walk in, say nothing, and still become unforgettable. Because true attraction isn't in the words, it's in the energy, the grace, the mystery you carry without trying. If he doesn't hear your silence, he was never worth your voice. Stay with me, and I'll show you how to make them feel your absence louder than your presence ever could. When you step into a room, you don't need to announce your presence. The way you carry yourself, the calm in your stride, the stillness in your gaze, it all speaks before you ever say a word. True power lies not in volume, but in intention. You can captivate attention not by demanding it, but by being so in tune with yourself that the world leans in to understand your silence. People notice authenticity, they sense self-respect, and they are drawn to energy that doesn't seek approval. The woman who doesn't chase becomes the one who is chased. In silence there is mystery, in confidence there is allure. And when you trust your own worth, you don't feel the need to overexpress it. You allow your energy to speak, and that becomes your loudest message. That message is unforgettable. That message is unforgettable. Confidence is not arrogance. It's the quiet assurance that you don't need to prove anything to anyone. When you walk with clarity in who you are, you stop overthinking, stop over-explaining, and stop apologizing for your presence. The most attractive people are not always the loudest in the room. They're the ones who can hold space without a single word. The ones who are so rooted in their self-worth that others feel more grounded just by being near them. You don't need to talk excessively to leave a lasting impression. You simply need to be present, aligned, and intentional. Confidence doesn't scream, it hums, it resonates, and it lingers. You become magnetic, not because you said the right thing, but because you didn't need to say anything at all. There's a different kind of power in being composed. When you don't rush to fill silence, when you're not afraid of quiet moments, you show emotional maturity. Silence becomes your canvas, and how you move within it defines your grace. You signal that you don't need to compete for attention, because you are secure in the knowledge that you already have it. Not through noise, but through presence. Presence is a language, and those who master it know they don't need words to create connection. Your presence can calm storms or ignite hearts, depending on the energy you carry. It's in how you enter a space, how you look people in the eye, how you listen more than you speak. There's power in simply being still while the world spins around you. You set the tone, you lead without force, and you attract those who are aligned with that rhythm. When people are used to being overstimulated, a calm, confident presence becomes a rare and irresistible force. That force can draw someone in deeper than 1,000 clever words ever could. When you carry yourself with confidence, people start to treat you differently. Not because you demand it, but because you've already decided how you deserve to be treated. You teach others how to value you by the way you value yourself. The way you don't overextend, the way you don't shrink, and the way you choose quality over attention. All of it speaks volumes. In silence, you demonstrate that your time, your energy, and your emotions are sacred. You are not easily accessed, and anything not aligned with that energy simply fades away. That clarity, that boundary, that quiet strength, it becomes a statement, and those who notice it never forget it. Many believe attraction is built on words, but it's really built on frequency. You don't have to speak to emit power. You only need to be intentional with your energy. When someone feels calm around you, inspired by your stillness, or intrigued by your silence, they're not reacting to your voice, they're reacting to your essence. Energy doesn't lie. You could sit silently in a room and make hearts race, simply because your energy is grounded and undemanding. That kind of connection is deeper than conversation. It's energetic alignment. And it all begins with how you feel about yourself. When you carry a quiet certainty, others are drawn to discover what's behind it. Being confidently silent is not about playing games or being manipulative. It's about knowing your worth so deeply that you don't feel the need to overperform. You don't chase, you don't beg, you don't seek to impress. You simply are, and that is enough. When you realize you don't need to be loud to be seen, you stop wasting energy on noise and start investing it into presence. That kind of presence creates a gravitational pull. It commands respect without asking for it. And it makes the right people want to stay close. Not because of what you said, but because of how they felt when they were near you. There is strength in restraint. When you know you can speak, but choose silence instead, you are in full control. Silence isn't passive, it's powerful. It gives you the space to observe, to process, and to respond with wisdom instead of emotion. In moments of tension, silence can disarm. In moments of peace, it can deepen connection. You show maturity by not reacting to every trigger, by choosing your moments carefully, and by allowing your silence to hold more meaning than any forced explanation. That's the kind of strength people remember. That's the kind of grace that wins hearts quietly and permanently. Confidence doesn't need approval. It thrives without applause. When you're centered in your own identity, you don't try to become louder to be noticed. You allow your stillness to make the world quieter around you. People may not remember exactly what you said, but they will always remember how you made them feel. And when you move through life with elegance, clarity, and quiet power, you leave an impression that lingers. You become magnetic without effort. You become a mystery worth unraveling. And in that space, love finds you. Not because you asked for it, but because you embodied it. The real secret to silent attraction is emotional security. When you are not shaken by silence, when you are comfortable in solitude, when you glow from within without needing validation, you become untouchable. You stop needing words to express your worth because your energy already carries that message. The most powerful people don't chase attention. They attract it naturally through alignment. They let their aura speak louder than their voice. Real attraction doesn't start with words, it starts with energy. It's in the glance that lingers, the presence that lures, and the calm that makes someone wonder what you're thinking without ever having to ask. The most powerful connections are born in silence, not conversation. You don't have to chase anyone or force moments to feel seen. When your energy is aligned with peace, confidence, and self-respect, it becomes undeniable. You stand out by doing less, not more. You don't need to overcompensate or seek constant attention. There is something magnetic about a person who knows their own value and lets their energy do the introduction. That's when silent attraction becomes an art. When you understand your own worth, you stop trying to prove it. You no longer feel compelled to explain your story, to justify your choices, or to compete for attention. Your silence becomes your strength. Your mystery becomes your signature. And your vibe becomes your voice. People will be curious, not because you told them everything, but because you told them nothing. They'll want to understand what gives you that calm, that presence, that certainty. It's rare. Most people rush to be heard. But when you sit in your power without speaking, you become unforgettable. Your silence creates space for wonder, and that wonder becomes a gravitational force. There's an undeniable pull in someone who knows they don't need to fill every moment with noise. In stillness, there is presence. In presence, there is clarity. When you're at peace within, you radiate calm outward. And that calm is attractive in a world full of chaos. People crave stability, even if they don't know it. Your silence becomes a sanctuary. You're not reacting, you're not performing, and you're not trying to impress. You're just being, and being deeply. That's what catches someone's attention at a soul level. The surface is loud. The soul listens to the quiet. And that quiet becomes your power. Every time you choose silence over explanation, you create space for someone to observe your energy instead of your words. They notice the way you handle pressure, the way you respect your own peace, the way you don't beg for understanding. And that observation builds intrigue. Intrigue is far more powerful than familiarity. Words can be forgotten, but energy leaves an imprint. Your stillness tells them you're not in a rush, that you value intention, that you choose yourself first. And that kind of energy doesn't chase, it attracts effortlessly, and it lingers long after you've left the room. Most people speak to fill voids, but when you're secure, you don't fear the void. You understand it's a space to be felt, not filled. Your silence becomes a mirror for others. It makes them reflect, question, wonder. They begin to feel your absence even when you're present, because your energy forces them to become aware. It's not about being cold or distant. It's about being present without needing to perform. And last,